You ready, homie?
You're tuning in to Trade Talk Radio, your source for news, music, finding literacy, and so much more. Bringing you that dope content and raw truth.
Let's get into it.
Trade Talk Radio, going live in your ear. Let's do it.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing today? I hope you're having a great day. Thanks for tuning in to Trade Talk Radio. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you don't mind, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel as we begin to move forward in this show. Let's make it happen. We hope that everybody had a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful week. And we hope that this week was one of those weeks that you were able to accomplish and to do whatever you wanted to do as an individual person. For those who don't know, that this channel is specifically about just networking and communicating with you, and you communicating with us, and you getting to know who we are. Of course, this is more so like introductory. This is an introductory to what we're doing here on this channel. We're going to be talking about real, true life issues, things that bother you, things that get to you. We're going to be talking about all different types of topics that comes with trying to actually help us grow and help us develop. On this topic right here, what we want to do, we want to try to get you to understand where we are today. Today, we want to make you understand that we are not here for drama. We are here for pure conversation. Don't forget to hit the subscribe. Hit subscribe. Come back to us and let's talk about. We're gonna also be doing call-ins and different things like that, and so that you can always give your opinion on what is going on. Today, one of the topics that we really want to focus on is primarily about social justice, and I know that that is one of the topics that's going on right now all over the world. Everybody's talking about social justice, and also with the George Floyd trial that is taking place right now at this very moment. When we look at where we are right now, it is so difficult for us to try to embrace what society is bringing and offering to us as individual people, especially as a black people. And I know that on my channel, here we're not just gonna only have black people on the channel. You know, we will have all race of people on the channel, but the main key thing is that we are focusing on that social justice issue, because it is definitely an issue that is arriving in this country. This country is getting more and more relaxed in the treatment of others and how others are being treated. So we want to let you know that our prayers are with every person who's in that struggle, and we send great big shout outs to everybody that is raising a supporting a hand in trying to bring social justice justice to us as a people. Those who are fighting, those who are marching, those who are doing all of the right things. We're not talking about going to tear up Kmart, and we're not talking about going and tear up Walmart and to go and break in some restaurants. And we're not trying to do that. We're not trying to destroy communities. We want to build communities, and that is where we're headed right now on this channel. I want to let you know that we want to get involved in building communities instead of just trying to fight it and destroy communities in any kind of way. And we don't want to get ourselves caught up in a situation where we are in a social justice fight, and the fight is not being achieved because we are taking the fight in a different area, in a different place. That's what we're about. We don't want to get into a fight because we wrestle not against just our fists and our guns. We also wrestle against, mentalities and personalities. We also wrestle real hard against things that we can't see, and the fight don't really start with your fist. And we already know that without the shedding of blood, if there's no blood being shed, peace is normally can't come, because somebody have to die in the midst of peace. And we're grateful for the ones in the past who have died. We're grateful for the ones who have died for our peace, who have died for our reason, and who have died for our cause. But now we don't want to put ourselves in a position where we are dying. We want to live to see the future and the vision of what we are fighting about. If we keep trying to fight with our hands, what is that going to do? Everybody want to fight. What is fighting going to do? I had a discussion with somebody. They got kind of disturbed with me because my opinion is that what are we marching for? What are we marching for? Why are we marching? What is the end goal? What is the cause of marching? Tearing up something is not going to help. What's going to help is black people as a community get involved with one another, creating unity so that we can be able to do the things that need to be done in our communities. Our communities are hurting on every level. I know some people don't care. Some people don't give a foot. I know that some people is just like, hey, as long as me and my house good, I'm not really concerned or worry about what's going on in their house. But let me tell you something. Anytime something is affecting outside of your house, it's more than likely it's going to affect in your house. So we have to make sure that we take a better stand in trying to reach out in communities and do something more than just sit back and complain about things. We need to stop the complaining and start getting out and actually doing the work. Could you imagine in that you in a position where you doing the work of something? Doing the work. Listen, when you start wanting to do the work, it's a whole different ball game, because now your mind, your mentality is begin to change, because you don't want to just get into just trying to fight no more. Now you're about, okay, look, there's some social justice that is going on in my neighborhood. There's some things that are going on around me. I'm being affected. My people are being affected. So how about if I just put the gun down and I just go out in the street and I just try to talk to my brothers? Okay, I could just talk to him. I could just say, you know what? Hey, my brother, why don't you do this? Why don't we do this thinking? And I think in the black community, what's going on right now is that we are losing the ability to communicate. I believe that we are losing the ability to communicate, because where we are not communicating is where the pain is coming from. Because you don't know that something is hurting because you haven't talked to them. You haven't said anything. You haven't tried to bring yourself in a position where you understand that something is scary happening, because you don't really care about the next man. So if you're not caring about social justice from a form of communication, obviously you're creating a big, huge problem. So I talk to a lot of I talk to a lot of brothers all the time. I always talk to them, and when I talk to what they would call gangsters or thugs, when I have conversations with them, the main thing is that nobody wants to hear us. Nobody wants to hear what we are saying. It's not that we are going to jail time again, and we're going to prison or whatever the case may be, and we're going through all this stuff. The problem is that when we look at us getting out of jail, and the first thing we do is we go for help. I know a lot of black men. Listen, hold the music. I know a lot of black men that go through things. I know a lot of black men that go through things. Bring the music back. And they go through stuff, and when they get out of jail, their mind is made up to do the right thing. But when you go and you put in the job application, because you're getting out on probation or parole, and the first thing that they want to do is make sure that you're looking for a job, so they give you a check-in sheet that every time you go to put in an application or talk to somebody at a job, you have to sign it. I know they do it a lot in Texas, because when I was in trouble at one time, I had to do the same thing, and I'm not ashamed to say that. And you get all the checklists, and you turn in 25, 30 checklists of people you'll talk to, supervisors and things like that. And when you turn that stuff in, you get you about 25, 35 signatures. What ends up happening is they just say, okay, you good. The parole board or probation officer, they say, okay, you did what you're supposed to do. You did this over 2 months. You've been looking for a job. All right. Now y'all probation. You did good. But at the same time, they didn't get their job. That was no recommendation. That was nothing. Don't talk about going to TWC, the Texas Workforce Commission, or either any other commission or whatever they have in other places. Listen, half of those people don't really care about whether you work or not. They're just there to make sure that you're looking for some work so they can get their check and go home. So the people on the corners in the streets, they're saying that we definitely tried, but nobody gave us a chance. So what it does, it creates us to put us back into the door that revolves. So we're back at point number one. where we thought that we won, but we didn't really win, because now we're back in the same place we was in before we got in it. Before we went to jail, we have no choice but go back and sell some dope. Got no choice. What you want the man to do? Sell some dope, do this here and all this old bunch of stuff, what they do, out there in those streets or whatever the case may be, or whatever, and this is not a license of permitting crime. This is, we're not trying to say that you're committing crime and you are good in doing it and it's okay. It's not that it's okay, but believe it or not, getting a job. Now I know in Texas, getting a job with a felony is like very thin. The line is so thin. It's not a thick line. So it's like, what do you want people to do? So you're talking to them and they're talking, and nobody is listening. So what do we do at that point when nobody's listening? That's why I'm not too much of a fan of big celebrities, like celebrity people who people worship and look up to and all that kind of stuff. I'm not into celebrities who don't support the community. And I'm not talking about giving back to a 501c3 that already have $501 million billion in the bank. 501c3, 501 billion in the bank, and you still donating to that? Will you have small little nonprofit corporations, nonprofit people who are out here doing the work, and they can't even raise $10, and everything that they're doing is coming completely out of their pockets, and they have to beg people to buy a t-shirt, they gotta beg people to buy the candy, they gotta beg people to come to the little bitty events that they have put together because they didn't have enough funds. And the celebrities go and they give all of their money to the big corporation. Why are you giving $4 million to the Salvation Army? Come on, y'all help me. Y'all help me. Y'all got to help me with this, because I'm not understanding that. I'm not understanding that you're giving all this money to whether if I look it up on my laptop right now, how much does the president or CEO, whatever they call them, get paid for the Salvation Army United Way, and they get paid more money than you will probably ever get paid in your entire life. They have enough money to buy your life. But celebrities donate the cause. They donate to them because they feel as if that's what's going to really help. That's not helping. What's helping is that you're getting your boots on the ground and you're giving and sowing back to your community, and you're helping your community in a way. Listen, there's a young man, I don't know his name right now, and I'm sure y'all gonna help me once you see this video and you actually start commenting or whatever. Don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to subscribe.
You ready, homie?
You gotta be ready to subscribe at any moment. I really need that subscription. Listen, young man who started a school. He started a school. He was on the news. He got into an argument with Roland and whatever the case may be. We don't want to get into that part of it, the argument, but we do know that he has started a school, and he started from nothing, and it's self-funded. They don't have a lot of money. They're now starting to get a few donations here and there, or whatever the case may be, and that's something a young man, and he's in his 20s, took up his own time and responsibility to start getting involved in the community and created a school where when people getting out of prison, jail, or whatever, and trying to get reformed in some type of way and getting true rehabilitation, because we already know that rehabilitation is not in jail. Okay, them folks up in there is not trying to help you with no rehabilitation. They're not trying to give you nothing. They're trying to make you go to school while you in there because they getting paid. They're trying to make you do whatever program they got going on, all these cognitive intervention programs and all that different stuff, AA meetings and this and that. That stuff they getting paid for. So this young man created a program, and I'm going to try to find his link, and I'm going to put it at the bottom of this video just in case some of you want to also donate to the program. And it is a true, authentic program. It is not a gimmick, and he's doing a great job. And that's what I'm saying. In order for social justice to even get to some point of help, we're gonna have to stand up ourselves. Listen, voting is not gonna help. I hope I don't lose nobody, but it's not gonna help, baby. I'm sorry. It's a great thing if you're concerned about what's going on in Washington, D.C. But what about Detroit, Michigan? What's going on the streets? What's going on in Chicago, Houston? What's going on in San Antonio? What's going on in Los Angeles? What's going on in all those other towns and cities and rural areas? If you drive down to Louisiana, in some of the smallest places in Louisiana, it's literally just trash. I mean, it's nothing. It's rural area, and it got a lot of killings, a lot of shootings, a lot of things that is going on. And listen, if you begin to put yourself in a position where you putting your boots to the ground, listen, Trade Talk Radio is not about the drama. What we want to do is find people who are putting their boots to the ground and put them on here and promote what they're doing. I don't care if you got to go and sell lemonade for $1 per cup and giving it back to the community and doing something that's able to help and build something. I don't want to talk about the statistics and the numbers and all that stuff. We already hear that stuff. It got millions of channels on YouTube that talk about statistics and numbers and percentages and all that different stuff. We already know about the bad. So what we're gonna do to make this thing right? We got to do something to make it right. And you have to put yourself in a position where you're willing and ready to make things right again. You can make America great again by doing a whole lot of stuff. What you can't do is just step outside your door and just go and talk to people. Communication solves so many things. When you communicate with people who don't look like you, whose shoes don't look like you, their clothes don't look like you, when you communicate and talk and find out their stories and what they've been through and what they did and how they came over it and how they still there when they have to sleep under a bridge and when they got to do this. Listen, look at the homeless situation. There's so much homelessness. Why are you homeless in America, in a country that makes and print its own money? What in the snap is that? How does that even happen? How do homelessness even happen in a country like America? People are getting locked up and going to jail and different things like that and all that different. Now, there's some things and crimes that's just need to be whatever the case, it need to be punished. But there is some things that we need to deal with on the individual level, and we got to stop being hidden inside of these churches. We got to stop being hidden inside of these family life centers and all this type of stuff. Bring that stuff up out of those walls and get on the street and start helping the people. That's what we have to do. If you want to see growth and development, you want to see skill, you want to see things go farther, all you have to do is put yourself in a position and say, you know what, I'm ready for change. I'm ready to do something to help my own community. You can start small, start little, doing something that's effective, doing something that works. You get what I'm saying? So that's what this is about. I just wanted to come on right quick and just talk to you a little bit about that and talk to you about the development and growth. We're gonna do a video about nonprofit organizations, and we're gonna have a young lady to come on who's gonna talk about nonprofit organization, starting your own nonprofit organization, getting grants and creating websites that are effective. We're not just talking about just getting on Fiverr and creating a site. We're talking about a website that's actually moving and learning how to build databases and email lists and different things like that, doing things so that you can be able to not just let your nonprofit organization just have a form and just have a piece of paper floating on the internet. No, what you want is a moving nonprofit organization where you have corporations donating to you and giving to you and making sure that you have everything that is needed for you to grow. Listen, if you don't mind, please subscribe to the channel. More information is going to be coming. I'm telling you, it's going to be hot off the trot, and you are going to see some stuff that you have never seen. You're going to hear some stuff probably that you never heard before, some stuff that you're not going to agree with. We're all not going to agree with one another, but what we're going to do is respect one another. And if you can't do that, I'm going to have to block the call. I'm going to have to block the comment and all that kind of stuff. We don't want to go through that process. What we want to do is share ideas with one another. We want to be able to get before one another and do something different and attack this thing called social injustice. That's what I should have said at first. I don't know. What I should have said was social injustice. My bad. But y'all get what I'm saying. All right. So thank you so much for tuning in. I really and certainly appreciate it. And we hope to see you real soon. We hope to see you in operation and doing things to impact your community in a very special way. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And we appreciate you. And we out of here.
You
Peace.
ready, homie?
You're tuning in to Trade Talk Radio, your source for news, music, finding literacy, and so much more. Bringing you that dope content and raw truth.
Let's get into it.
Trade Talk Radio, going live in your ear. Let's do it.